I feel like I'm becoming a new person. There's a significant difference between me last quarter and me right now, and it's just so fun like checking in on goals and like seeing how much progress you make. And that's why I believe everybody should go after their thing. Planner girlies, come out. This is for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. It's been such a long week. I've been doing so much work that I just am so excited to have a video where I can kind of like relax, chill, talk about some really exciting, fun developments in my reinventing myself journey. As you've probably seen, I talk all about dream life on this channel. I'm 26. I left my corporate job in 2020 with no plan, stumbled into freelance by following my passions, and then it's led me to now where I've completely put everything on the line to become a full-time content creator and entrepreneur. And this quarter has been the most, I don't even know what's like real. This has been like the most like needle moving quarter I've had since I left my six-figure freelancing career just to do things like this. I feel like I'm becoming a new person, and I feel like everybody says that, but I really feel like there's a significant difference between me last quarter in my last video and me right now. And it blows my mind that it's only been like 6.5 weeks since I've really started this like new change. Last quarter I had taken an Eat, Pray, Love Euro trip. I figured out that I should not be working for clients. After I left my freelancing career, the plan was to be a consultant and to coach people in social media marketing, because that was the next obvious step. It made sense, it was practical, it was logical, I can make money. But then doing it actually felt so different. It felt like I was never getting anything done. I just wasn't passionate about it. During this time I was creating content as well, so it felt like, oh yeah, like I'm a full-time creator and entrepreneur with my consulting business, but I never really felt like the entrepreneur I wanted to be. The consulting business wasn't helping me grow. It wasn't changing me in a lot of ways that I didn't even realize until now, because now that I'm doing something that feels so much more aligned to who I am and what I want out of life, I'm like, oh, this is what people are talking about when they say being an entrepreneur is hard. And there's been a lot of things that I've been doing that have significantly impacted this. And today I'm going to show you everything I've done and how I've basically changed myself in this 6.5 week period. I'm like almost scared to see me 6.5 more weeks in, because I'm gonna be like, whoa, I feel like my whole life is flipped. I really have my Notion planner to thank, and just kind of like the routine and discipline, goal setting. Honestly, I feel like all of those things have really been able to keep me on track longer than I've ever been. I feel the most consistent in terms of business and health and wellness and mindset than I've ever been. I don't think that's a coincidence. I do think it's because I decided to follow my calling. Ironically, the company that I started on a whim at the end of last year, kind of after realizing I shouldn't be a consultant, is dedicated to this message that sometimes we're not going to have all the answers, we're not going to have a reason to start with, but we should do it anyway. And then everything kind of just unfolds on the journey. While we're in action, we start to see the purpose, we start to see the reason. And the path you pick is not some random guess. A lot of times we have things we're already passionate about, we're skilled at, we're interested in, we're curious about, but we just never allow ourselves to go there. And I think I allowed myself to finally do it with this company, with this brand. While I was creating this brand, which is called Sans Raison, I was realizing, I'm like, oh my God, this is tying together everything I've always wanted to do in my life. And that's why I believe everybody should go after their thing, their no reason thing, the thing that they don't need a reason to do. I feel like it's helped me become better as a person. Like, I'm working out consistently, I am journaling consistently, I am being disciplined, I'm going to coffee shops, I'm getting out there, like all of the same shit that I used to complain about last year. I still have those things, but I've just developed more habits and mindsets that help me overcome them and actually use them as a strength. It's weird if I think about it. Like, if I think about it too much, I'm like, I don't want to ruin it. Let me just like keep going, you know? Not only do I love like planning and goal setting, I love getting to like talk to people about it. I know I'm not like talking to someone specifically, but like, I know you're there, I know you're watching, and I know you love this too. And it's just so fun, like checking in on goals and like seeing how much progress you make. Like, it's such a fun activity, and I don't understand how people don't plan, because like you don't get to like check things off and like say that you've done something. If you have one, if you have yours, let's check them off together. If you don't, you should probably download the Notion planner. I might just be doing check-ins and a quarterly goal video like every quarter, so we can do this on a routine basis. But like, planner girlies, come out. This is for you. I made myself a little blueberry smoothie, and now that the sun is coming out, I feel like I'm gonna be even more on my health grind. So anyway, let's sit down at my computer and dig into everything. Okay, we are at my desk. We are standing up because I just feel like it just makes me so much more productive. I have been doing small little things like cleaning breaks, like opening the window, just to like make myself feel a little bit more motivated and like refresh my brain. Like my brain, I'm learning, is kind of like a palette. You need to refresh it to keep it going for a long period of time. And you also need to be having fun. So anything you can do to make your day novel, make it more interesting, make yourself a smoothie, like do that thing. It's these small things that keep you going. Let's open up Notion and see what's going on in here, and I can walk you through kind of my typical like quarterly practice, how I kind of check up within the quarter on what I'm doing. Okay, as you might recall from my last goals video, I said this year I am planning to impress myself. Like I only want to do things that I'm like, damn, that was cool. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like completely believe myself. I was just like, okay, like I want to impress myself, but I don't know how that's actually gonna happen, because I did film this video prior to when I had the retreat where I like planned everything out, revamped my Notion dashboard. But after kind of making the dashboard and just making my setting and my environment really easy to succeed, things started to like really fall into place. And so one of those environments or things that I set up for myself to succeed is my Notion planner. And as you can see at the top, I have like my motto. It's like impress yourself this year. Like I'm really planning on just like wowing myself, like new person. Like that's what I want it to be. And then in the middle, I kind of have like some images just for like inspo. I'm a visual person. I have to like what I see. I have a personal section, a business section, and content section. Then as I scroll down, you see more of the weekly schedule. Like this is kind of what I plan to do on a day-to-day basis. Like the other ones are like high level planning or more in depth. This is more like, okay, tactical. What do you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So I like to keep it one day at a time, even though it's my weekly schedule. So I have the time here, I have my jazz playlist, and I have like daily resources that I'll hit. But I have basically my morning and nighttime routine listed for me to like check off. Then I have my daily to-dos. On a day-to-day basis, I'm typically learning something. I'm doing either content or business stuff. And then I have a workout most days. I've been trying this like staggering method where I do like sans raison stuff all day, or I do content all day, and then on Friday I do a little bit of both. Editing is like a zone that I get in, and then business stuff is the zone I get in, which is typically a lot of writing. I also obviously use like Google Calendar to mark times for stuff, but instead of time blocking, I just have like a chunk of time dedicated to a certain thing. If it's my content day, I will have like a chunk of time dedicated to editing. I'll put in my calendar, maybe go for a walk at a certain time, or maybe have a cleaning break at a certain time, but there's just big blocks of working time instead of like specific tasks on the calendar, if that makes sense. I just kind of take Sundays to refresh this and refresh kind of the whole dashboard, honestly. And that's where I look to my other like higher level planning pages to put things into the weekly to-dos that will essentially convert into the daily to-dos. One thing I've been really loving about this dashboard is checking in with myself. I do this with my fiance. We have a emotional check-in that we do every week, but we also do a goal check-in every 2 weeks. So we go to our goals sheet, look at what we're doing, see how we're doing, and we talk about what we can improve, blah, blah, blah. So I have 2 check-ins kind of on my dashboard, but then I have a whole page dedicated to my Q1 or quarterly goals. So the weekly check-in is really nice because it's like I love chatting to myself. Like I just love like writing and talking about things and reflecting on things. So every week I've been doing like these 6 or 7 questions that I ask myself. Take a deep breath, I get a nice drink, ambiance has to be right. I sit down for like 30 minutes, honestly like 45 minutes, and just like write how I've been feeling. So some of the questions are, how are you feeling? What did you like about this week? What did you accomplish? What are you proud of? And I try to ask myself questions that can help me reflect currently on the week that just happened, but also improve for next week and like foresee challenges so I can actually change things. And because I've been doing this, my dashboard and my schedule and the work I've been able to produce has significantly increased in quality because I'm constantly reflecting on it and improving it, even if it's a slight tweak. Like, hey, I noticed on Sundays you don't really feel like working out in the morning. Why don't you do that in the evening? And then the next week I'll try that. Like I still have my base stuff that exists. Like I'm not trying to change everything every single week, but I'll just notice like over the last few weeks, you just seem to not want to work out on Sunday. Instead of trying to like force myself to work out on Sunday at a particular time in the morning, maybe I move that Sunday workout to the evening when I actually end up doing it. And I feel like that's actually been helping me stick to the goals longer than if I just like left it and try to force myself to do it. It just helps me become a better person. And I really like that feeling because I never miss anything. And then down below, this is where we have our Q1 goals. This is like a short capture of it, like of just a chart chart, but I have a whole page dedicated to just Q1 goals. Let's go into that and I'll talk about some of the things that have happened so far and what's cooking. I was so excited to have this page like revamped and redone. I essentially wanted to make it more fun, make it more exciting to look at, like something I want to come in and update and check, and something that's really like solid. And I think I can get a little bit better. You'll see there's kind of some inefficiencies, like there's not like a clear way for me to track all of these goals, but I just kind of want to work my way up eventually. And you know, it won't be perfect, but that's okay. So this is Q1 from January to March of 2024. And then I just have 3 main goals. And then this is something I've like implemented this quarter, which is adding a theme, like really kind of being in an era. Like I think we all thrive off stories. I definitely thrive off of like having a persona or having an era. And like this era for me is solitude and focus. And that is an actual picture of me, because I just really believe in like vision boards and anything kind of having more reality into it. This picture just reminded me of that. And it's like me taking a walk with my chai, just having a good time, like being by myself. The reason I wanted to focus on just being alone and kind of like secluding myself is because I feel like this is like my winter hibernation period. Like I need to cook up all of these skills so I can like show up to the world in the way I want to. And in my ebook, I talk a lot about how the first step of like of attaining your dream life is to like shed. Like you need to eliminate so much information. And this can be on like a macro level, but it can also be on a micro level, to where out of the 3 steps, like eliminate, explore, exploit, or commit, I feel like I'm more in the committing side. But within my committing and like the exploit phase, I do feel like I'm in a stage where I am kind of eliminating things. So to me, this is kind of like excess of hanging out, excess of talking on the phone or texting or being on my phone, or just like attending things that don't really like align with where I want to go. Like I'm being very strict this quarter on what I let in. I've had rules that have kind of developed, like no more than 2 social obligations a week, because you don't want to like get distracted, no scrolling. I even kind of wrote it at the bottom here, like some of my new habit changes. This is when I was brainstorming what I wanted for the quarter, but I kind of left it here just as a reminder. I wrote down all of the complaints that I had of last quarter, and I'm like, how can I actively fix that? So I had like a section where these are all of the complaints, like things I kept complaining about last quarter, and how am I going to like directly change that? And one of those things was just like I was bored with kind of like what I was interacting with, the events I was attending, like feeling like I was doing things out of obligation. So one of my changes was like, okay, like be alone more, like take solo dates. Like if you're not pleased with a group setting, then do it on your own, you know? Turn off your phone notifications and messages. Like that's something I didn't even consider. Like right now I don't have any notifications when people call me, other than like my mother and my fiance. Like it's just gonna be a lower priority, because right now I'm in a period where I'm prioritizing like focus and solitude. And the first goal was presence and gratitude. I wanted to be more present and feel more grateful for where I'm at, not needing external things, not wanting external things so much, but just like really like loving my life. I noticed there was 3 things that really helped me do that: journaling, moving, and traveling. So if I journal often, I feel like really connected and reflective, and just like I'm able to notice when I'm not being present and when I am being present, because I'm reflecting on it every single day. Like when you're working out, when you're exercising, when you're taking your walk, it's just easier to be more present with the moment. Like the workout is either hard, the weather's really nice outside. Traveling, huge thing on feeling present and grateful. Like I'm off my phone. I feel like I love where I'm at more. I'm more grateful for the world. I see more things. I feel more inspired. Per goal underneath, there's like sub goals, which are the things I just mentioned. Journaling every morning. For me, that's been my 5-minute journal, which is like super quick. Talks all about gratitude and how you can find it in your day. And then I incorporated another journal called The Daily. This was actually a journal from one of my good friends. You should totally get this journal. It's a like journal and planner. So there's a section for you to talk about how you feel, and then you can also plan out your day. Super aesthetic. I mean, come on. And then for movement, I really wanted to hit the gym like often. Last year I was only doing like 2 to 3 times, not so much. And like, not that it's like crazy changed, but I feel a lot more consistent this year. I wanted to focus on like cardio or like fat burning, and also strength, Pilates, yoga, things that are like challenging for me muscle wise. And then traveling, I want to travel at least once a quarter. We're not making a lot of money, we don't have income. I want to challenge myself to travel anyway. That's again really the message behind the brand, like do it anyway. I just feel like you're showing up in the world with a certain energy, and you will get that energy reciprocated. So just making it a point, like once a quarter there's at least one trip we could do, whether it's a road trip, whether it's a big trip, whatever. And then my second goal is to stretch my mind. I really just wanted to like evolve past the mind that I had. Like I feel like the mindset I have now really came from my earlier 20s, and I feel like now I'm in a point where I need to develop like even more of an evolved mindset for my later 20s. And for me, that's learning a language. I've been kind of like flirting with the idea of learning French for a long time. time. And last year I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I want to be conversational by the end of the year. And this requires like a French lesson Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I watched a few videos and learned that you should focus on pronunciation first and then get into the reading and listening. So that's kind of the structure I took. I want to read 3 self-development books this quarter. These are the books and they were all based on things I want to learn and get better at. So there's branding, how to win friends, influence people, classic. And then I added Rich Dad, Poor Dad because I just thought like, I don't know, I love, like, I'm not like super into money. I honestly think it's just like such a flowy thing. Like, but I do feel like in terms of business and my mindset, I can apply these principles to a lot of things. And then a writing practice. That's kind of what you saw earlier on my dashboard, like under content. Like all of my content is like written probably before it's actually verbalized, and I feel like writing just gives me ideas to verbalize. Writing every morning has been so nice. Like it's just such a good thing to do in the morning. Like every day around like 7 or 8, I just like either write some short form content, write a blog, write for a song, like just write something because it just helps me when I'm in a good mood. I've already meditated, sun is out, good time to write. And then my third goal is basically self-development, like future self-development. So this is like taking bits of my future self and putting it into my life right now. Honestly, all of these goals are my future self, but this is what I don't necessarily have access to yet, but I feel like I can prematurely add it to my life right now so that I can get ready. The first thing was building my brand Sans Raison. So over the past 6.5 weeks, I have done so much more than I thought I could ever get done with this brand. I have ordered product, I have designed product, I made like myself a branding kit and logos. I created an influencer campaign, I created an Instagram. I wanted to have like newsletter ready, website launch, inventory for my launch, and my marketing campaign. And by the way, I've never done products or any of this before, so this was just like all new stuff, and I feel like it was kind of cool because even though it was new, I was putting together all of my old skills, and it was really fun to like build something on my own with all these skills that I just didn't realize like I could actually put towards something that I want. Another thing is changing my environments. Like my hope eventually this year or next year is to be able to move to New York City, or a city that I find like really like inspiring and bustling. And I'm okay with Texas. Like I don't like completely hate it, but I don't love it. And I think I definitely feel more inspired when I'm in different cities, hence why I want to travel more. But I was like, okay, I can't change that necessarily right now, but what can I change? I can add more novelty to my life by going to a coffee shop at least once a week. That once a week has been doing so much for my brain, my productivity. I get so much more done at a coffee shop, and I noticed I just feel like I'm having more fun. Like there was one week I forgot to go and I was like, why am I so bored this week? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I totally forgot. Like I skipped my coffee shop date on Thursday, and I'm like, this actually makes a difference. And the last one has been dressing for success. I see my future self as like Matilda Djerf, Negan Mirsalehi, like being up to the trends and like also adding their own personal style, but like also business owner and also baddie. Like this is where I see my future self being, and we're not here yet. Like look at us. But I really think when I dress up, I feel more like the fashion influencer that I've always like strived to be. And so this requires me to like pick outfits out, like kind of do this at least 3 times a week just to feel the oomph, like put on makeup, dress up, like talk, you know, like look good. Okay, so what's fun is down here we have a check-in section. Every time me and Shahin sit down to do our bi-weekly check-in for our goals, I like update this, I write notes. Like that's a new thing I've been doing lately. It's like coming here and writing like an update, just saying, oh, this is really going well this past few weeks, or this is not. Journaling has honestly, as you can see, been going great. That one isn't like a super new habit, so it's just something I want to keep up and make sure that I do as much as I can. Movement has kind of had some up and downs. Like I recently added a workout tracker because I realized like I couldn't just like remember when I did my workout, and I couldn't necessarily look to my calendar either because I check them off when I'm done. So I made myself a workout tracker. Doesn't really matter what I do, as long as I did what's on my calendar, I'm like good enough with that. And I think I noticed like it was just a tweak in like which day I do things, having like 4 workouts instead of 5, little adjustments like that. But lately I've been doing a lot of like Pilates, Move with Nicole, fire. She makes you sweat even in like 20 minutes, and I've been loving it. I've been feeling better. It's an easy way for me to wind down. And another thing Shahin and I have added to our calendars, which I love when our calendars sync and like we do things at the same time, is we've been taking these walks 2 times a week. And I was like, oh, but I already work out at night too, that might be too much, I might be losing time. But it's such the perfect like primer for me to work out. And I just realized that. I do a 30-minute walk with him. We walk outside, and by the time I'm done with the walk, I'm like ready to like move my body more. So it just like completely worked out. Traveling, I haven't done that necessarily yet, but we do have a trip planned for later next month. Like this trip has been planned for a while, and I knew it's because I have to travel somewhere that I feel is novel to me. I haven't really been before. So for brain stretch, like this one has been like, whoa, I'm a new person, because I am not necessarily conversational in French just this quarter, but I'm just learning so much more than I thought. Like I was kind of overwhelmed when I started teaching myself French. I have a whole like page dedicated to me learning it, logging my study hours, all the resources I'm finding. I'm just tracking everything I can. I've been really loving French with Dylan. She is an amazing woman who puts all of her lessons on YouTube, and she has books, but I've just been doing the videos and I've been taking notes. I've been taking notes in my little notebook here and just like writing every lesson. I've learned numbers, I've learned the alphabet, I've learned all the accents, accent aigu, accent grave, accent circumflex, all of them, practicing. And I've also been watching Call My Agent, which has been really fun just to learn. So that's been going really well, and I'm like really shocked at how much I learned, because I'm like, oh wait, how do you say this in French? And I'll like try to quiz myself, and like I may not get it, but I'm pretty close. Also, my self-development books, I have already finished this book, which is such a good book like for branding. I love branding, and this book was just so simple, easy to understand, easy to implement. And I'm reading this book, which is a little bit more like old and outdated, but it's a classic. It's like timeless principles for life, and I think good for networking and business people. My writing practice, phenomenal, love her, nothing bad to say here. Like in my check-ins, I'm just saying how much like I love this. And then for my future self, building my brand has been insane. Like it's been the most fun thing. I've been uncertain, I've cried, I've had breakdowns, but it's been so, I'm just like proud. And I know when I'm just proud of something, I should keep doing it. Like I'm just proud of posting a YouTube video, even if it flops. Like I might whine and complain, but I'm always proud, and I know that's a good sign. I've made 2 digital products. I've made an ebook, which was supposed to be just like a short little 5 to 10 pages, and it literally turned into 40, which has kind of been an interesting twist. I've just been going along with what comes out of me instead of like restraining myself, and I find that really like therapeutic. Also, the website is coming together, really loving how things are just like looking cohesively. And then the sweatshirts are also in production right now. Like they're literally getting embroidered, going to be going on sale on my birthday, March 11th, and I'm just like so excited. I've been kind of like teasing it a little bit on Instagram. I was really nervous about how people would even find this, or how would I promote it, how would I market it, but like these are the burning questions I always have as a marketer, and it's just like kind of also fun to figure it out and do outbound, like reach out to people and things like that. It's just allowing me to have the excuse, the reason to do everything I've already wanted to do in life. There's been some like setbacks, and one thing I've been noticing and learning about myself is like I want to make everything perfect. I want everything to be on time. I want everything to be as nice as it could be, and like not have mistakes. And I'm just learning to be like, do what you can today, start again tomorrow, and just keep going, just iterate, like do enough for today and start again tomorrow. And that's been really helping me just get things along, even when I'm not like having the best time, or when I think my newsletter sucks, or like whatever. Just like come back tomorrow, like you'll be glad that you even started, you know. Changing environments, like I said, 10 out of 10. Just noticing when I go to coffee shops, I just feel more productive. I feel like I'm seeing more of the world. I interact with people, like, and I've also been discovering some cool places. And I'm not gonna lie, the dressing for success has not necessarily been popping off. Like ever since I started the business, I've just been kind of in sweats, and I don't know if it's like to keep things simple. I just haven't really been feeling like putting on an outfit. I might be like kind of jaded with what's in my closet, like, and I can't really shop for new clothes right now because all of our money is being put into our businesses. But I do kind of have like a comfort style in like athleisure, like making it kind of cute, adding on some cute sneakers. It's not exactly what I want, but I am putting on makeup, and when I go to a coffee shop, I definitely dress up. So it's not perfect, but it's something. And then at the bottom of my goals page, I have Q1 reflections. So these are questions I'll ask myself, and I'll like store all my old quarters. Like once this quarter's done, I'll store it in the archive file. This was like last year's goal sheet. It was so different, but you could see how the change has occurred in me, and in just like how serious I'm taking my goals. But I want to store all of my goals pages just so I can remember them, look back on them, just watch my progress. So that is how everything has been going so far. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching and, you know, doing our goals together. Like this was really fun, and I hope to do more of these. I kind of want to do more check-ins, and I definitely will do quarterly goal like announcements and videos, because I just think it's so cool to see progress over time. And I feel like I'm getting closer to my dream life every single day, and I feel like these videos will just be so nice to look look back on. If you need a planner, you need somewhere to start, like what goals you want, what does your dream life look like, how are you going to put that into your daily practice. Like, I highly suggest downloading the Daily Dream Notion planner. It's so cute. It's very similar to this, and it's just bonus exercises, like more exercises to help you figure out and get clarity on what you actually want in your life. If you feel like I need a push, or I just want to be around people who get that vibe and get that message, totally join us on Instagram and our newsletter, because I will be sending all my tips, learnings, developments there, and I can't wait to see what we create together.